Hello, hello,
Peace,
hello.
peace.
Welcome to the Face of Black Love. It is our new show. This is Kwame J, my husband.
CK.
I'm Monye CQ. We get that name from our company, Copper Vibrations Jewelry. Um, so we decided to start this show months ago, and one of the reasons we wanted to start this show was to talk more about black love from a very real and authentic perspective. Many of you all who may be following us already know a little bit about our story. You watch our live shows where we make custom handcrafted copper jewelry, but we wanted to shift gears a little bit and kind of give you a little bit more insight into our life, our thoughts, and our opinions on black love. In the future, we are hoping that we could bring other couples that we know, young, our age, older couples, some married, some in long term relationships, and kind of get their thoughts and opinions and ideas on their philosophies on black love. So, welcome to the Face of Black Love. We're so glad that you are here with us, and we're
Uh,
hoping that you will like the page, okay? Subscribe and comment, okay?
yes.
Can you do all three of those? Can you like this, subscribe, and comment down in the comments
And
below?
in the comments, we will be answering comments from this live on the next live, from this broadcast from the next one. So if you got great questions you want to ask, ask them, and they will be answered. The more greater the question, the more we can't wait to answer it. I think this one, since it's the first one, I think we should interview each other and ask each other questions that y'all will,
Sounds
like to hear.
sounds great, but I want to tell you all why we decided to go do this recording tonight. What made tonight the night to actually get started after we've been thinking about this for a few months now? What was the driving force about tonight? Because we were already in the bed, to keep it 100. We was already in the bed, relaxed, chilling, getting ready to lay on down for the
True.
night. But then we watched something. And in watching something, it was part two of Jada Pinkett's Red Table Talks. Speaking of her union with Will Smith. And so we had thoughts, opinions, and ideas about that. Some things we agree with, some things we did not agree with. So we decided that this is the time. This is now the time for us to add our perspective to black love. Okay? So welcome to the Faces of Black Love.
Well, right now, my heart hurts right now because what I just watched, I watched Will Smith pour out his heart to his wife, and to me, she did not return that type of love that he poured out to her. And he loves her so much, he's willing to accept anything long as he could be in her life. Is the energy I got from them. Now, we copper vibrations, we deal with crystals and stones, we pick up on the vibrations and the energy, and it's like, I'm like, damn, bruh. Like, I mean, I feel him the way he described building the house and doing all. I have great big plans outwardly. Like, I want to build, I want to create, I want to go, I want to see the world. I'm gonna see the world. I'm gonna build. I'm gonna create. And the way that he did it, I could tell he's doing the best he could do. But when you give out that love and it don't come back, it's like, damn. And to me, he poured his heart out, and to me, she did not.
I think it was very interesting that she saw his love, his outward display of love, as a form of imprisonment. And, that was what stood out to me and was very unique about that, because I think oftentimes, I think many women can identify with what she's saying. I know even in my short term of marriage, oftentimes there are sometimes, I ain't gonna say oftentimes, there were some times where I felt on a similar wave of what she was discussing. However, I did not understand why it was so difficult for her to return her husband's love and affection during those moments where he would pour his heart out to her. Because even if what he was doing was to feed his ego and pride, we know that men are ego and pride driven. I mean, that's a given. They're men. That's what they do. And so, but if you feel like you're in a prison, that's a choice. Oftentimes we put ourselves in a self-imposed prison, and we make that choice, and we hold our partners accountable for that choice that we made. He didn't physically lock her up, from my understanding. It was a choice that she made to live that life. And I think that when you're that unhappy, I don't feel like you should be silent for that long and then say, oh, I'm living my life now. Forget all this other stuff. That's a choice, and I'm not judging her. This is not in judgment or condemnation.
I have a question though. You said you feel at times in prison.
No, I didn't say I felt in times in prison.
No, it's like
I
I'm
said
trying to read
at
through
times
the lines.
I felt like I could identify with her. Your outward display of black love and your love for marriage and your love for me sometimes seems like it's driven by your ego, not necessarily for me personally. Like, it's my love, and here I want to give you my love. It's like, let me show everybody I'm a good man and that I love you.
I love my wife, y'all, and I say it a lot. I wrote a book on it. So I get what she's saying, far as it's more like it's like me looking at y'all saying I love my wife. It's like that's talking to y'all. I'm not even talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I really believe Will Smith loves his wife. Like,
Of course.
The way
Of
he's a
course.
great actor though, so they both good actors. So it's like, damn, it's kind of hard to tell. But he loves his wife, the way he poured it out, and I could relate. Like, I really love this woman. Like, this is like he's at the end of it. He said something like, if they get a divorce, he have to walk the earth like damn near alone. Like he already met the most amazing person. He can't top her for him. I feel that way about my wife. But I'm sorry, there's things that will break us up. I'm gonna be totally honest. I don't think we'll ever have a relationship where things can happen and it won't have consequences. Like, there's a natural world. There's always consequence. If I go and kill somebody, there's a consequence. Like, if I go and physically hurt a child, a small child, like kick a child in the head, she's not gonna be with me no more. Like, you can't do certain things and everything's gonna be okay. It's just, I'm trying to think of something extreme, which will cause the effect of it, a breakdown, a breakup. And
You look shorter than me in the camera.
that's the way I'm sitting. I'm kind of fat, y'all, so I probably should look a little small.
You're so silly. Hush.
But yeah, but it's like the way that they are brilliant, they are great, but the way that they put it together and the way that they believe this nonsense of is nothing he can do. We're partners for life. If Will Smith, if you watching this, bruh, you a grown ass man. You need the
If you watching it.
yeah, I mean, it's on. Look, bruh, I feel your heart. I feel your pain. I feel it, man. But you have to get back in some kind of control seat where, yes, there's things that should break you up. It's things where y'all should figure out how y'all can live separate. Y'all can live away from each other, and you should find another person as great as her. There's people out there. I'm sorry, but it's true. You probably can't see it now, but it's true. Life is great. You have to continue to live your great life, but there's always things that will break you up. It's always things that it should always be standards. Always have standards. What happens if she start trying to beat you up and kill you every night? Like, every time you go to sleep, she's trying to cut you. Like, what, you gonna stay with her? I love her though. You gonna be sliced up. You gonna be hurt.
I mean, So on one aspect, I totally understand where my sister is coming from. Jada says that, family is the most important thing to her. And I think oftentimes in this day and age, people are so quick to divorce is the option. Let's divorce. And then you have all these broken families and no generational wealth. And we as a people are never going to be able to build generational wealth if we continuously divorce. There is hold on, wait, let me finish. We're never going to be able to build generational wealth if we keep finding a way out of our difficult situations. And somebody, maybe not us, but somebody has to take the stand and say, this will stop. We must continue on this. I think what I like was, and we don't know really about Jay-Z and Beyonce because they are very mysterious and they don't let us in so much of their life as Will and Jada has done. But knowing what they went through, that almost, and we hear it in Jay's music and in his artistry and even in Beyonce's Lemonade album, what they went through was so detrimental that they saw their whole generations ahead being affected by the tragedy of infidelity. And they were able to pull it back together. But I feel a strong energy from B as well as Jay. Like, I know this shit can't happen again. This is not going to be I'm able to pull myself together to forgive you in this moment so that we can continue on this course of building generational wealth, of being the model or the face of Black love for our people. But we're not going for anything. We're not going for any and everything. We're not to the point to where we surrender so much to the idea of generational wealth that we just throw our marital values and morals out the window.
I respect what Jay-Z did. Jay-Z created a fire around himself by taking it public. Yes, I cheated. Yes, I did this. And I almost lost my family. I don't want my son playing with another man like he's dad. No, I'm the only dad. I want to be the only dad in my son's life. And doing all these things, he created a fire around himself in a way where he don't want to lose his family. And also publicly, I did cheat. I'm sorry. I went and got counseling. I'm not going to cheat again. And now everybody know like that. Like, look at him. Like, is he on cheat? Like, I know a bunch of women out there. Like, I wonder what he actually.
Let me try
him. And if a woman do sleep with him and she get found out, do you know what what is Beyonce crew? The Beehive gonna do? Like, hey, you out of here.
Might be bloodshed.
Yeah, like you won't be worried. You won't be the biggest whore. Like, just to get caught up with Jay-Z, you won't be the biggest like. Your name's gonna be dragged through the mud. So it's like Jay-Z created an atmosphere of him staying, not cheating. But I think what Will Smith and his wife did was they created an atmosphere of their swingers or this, or that. And they didn't, I ain't saying they fed the rumors, but they didn't do anything to stop the rumors.
Well, they try to destroy the swingers rumor because that's a different type of lifestyle. That's to say you and I together with other mates. That's so they eliminated that. They did not eliminate open marriage. And she even stated, like, even if you have to be on this side with a woman and I have to be on this side with my mate, we still are not breaking up. So she still left open the door for them to have what some would call an open marriage or understanding. Well, not even marriage, because now they say union, life partnership. Yeah, so they're treating it like a business. Partnership is a business. If you look at the key words, you can form a partnership. They may have even reworked their marriage. I mean, we could come up with a lot of stories based upon the language that they used for that Red Table Talks. But I'm not with it. I didn't agree with their philosophy, but hey, it doesn't affect my personal life, but for the sake of, because they put it out on social media and they put it out because they know we all are going to have commentary about it, we just giving our opinion of it, and we're interested on what you all think about what you're saying. Do you watch Red Table Talks? Did you watch, even if you didn't, did you watch the last 2-part series where Will Smith was on Red Table Talks? What do you think about unconditional love? What do you think about unconditional love, babe?
I think love always comes with conditions. I think love is great, like, but you don't supposed to just give love and it don't come back.
Damn right.
It's like you'll bleed out. It's like, you'll die. And I know a person who loved a person so much, when they left him, he lost his mind. He fell. Like, when you see him, he just got this crazy beard, this crazy long hair. He's just walking like in La La Land because his heart, he didn't protect his heart. Now we deal with the chakras. You have you gotta protect your heart. Like, your heart is so important. You don't just give out love unconditionally. Like, it just don't happen. Even a mother loves their child. If the child grows up to try to kill the mother is not gonna let the child kill him. The mother will possibly even kill a child. Like, it's no longer a child, a grown up in a
Self-preservation
fight.
is the first law of nature.
So where did the love go wrong? The love went wrong where whatever went wrong. Love could go wrong.
I think that model, that union model, throws out the first law of nature, which is self-preservation. And no matter how much you say you love yourself, if you allow unconditional love, for me, I feel like that's a lack of self-love somewhere in that compartment. You are now surrendering a part of yourself for the sake of maintaining a business agreement. So that's not, in essence, true love from my eyes. I can't see that. I can't see how that is love. Love must come with conditions. And like CK said, there's nothing you can do in this world without consequence. Like Newton's law, for every action, there's an equal but opposite reaction.
Now we deal with the crystals and stones. We deal with energies. Our name is Copper Vibrations as far as a business. I need y'all to go back and watch the Red Table Talks when Will Smith is saying, "I am happy." It's nothing but pain.
You can see the pain. I felt the energy.
Yeah, like it got us up to speak about it, because it's like, damn. And they are a face of black love.
Yes.
They are one of the biggest faces of black love, black marriage, black coming together. They are one of the faces of how it look if there's an open marriage, or if it's possibly swinging, possibly this, raising children within the arts and coming out. Like, there's something to look at in the study. And the more they open up their personal lives, the more we're going to look in and the more we will study it. Now, if Will Smith, say he was a horrible husband, and he constantly cheated on her, he constantly verbally abused her, he constantly kept her locked up in this beautiful house, which she called a golden cage. Say he did this for years, and in doing it, his career took off, and he benefited, and he became super successful as Will Smith, this superstar, this blockbuster Will Smith. And she took the hit to the point where so much anger and bitter, and I be damned, I'm not taking it. Like she said, her 40th birthday, it was the last straw. I'm tired of this. I'm not taking it no more. Now you gonna take this hit. I'm gonna do what the hell I want, and we're not separating. We're not divorcing. You gonna eat this. And if Will Smith lived a certain life and put her through a certain type of hell, and now he's eating it and he's living his hell as a consequence of his actions. He walked a certain road, and now he got to continue to walk it because it's his bed and he's sleeping in it. If that is going on, then I understand why he will stay in it. Like, my mind is trying to think about, like, why would I be inside a situation where the woman obviously don't love me? Every time she spoke about certain aspects of being duty and certain aspects of if we separate, it will destroy too much. It will cause too much of a
She
issue.
talked about it as if it was a business agreement.
Yeah, she never returned lovely words, and he's pouring his heart out. Now, if he did something to create this on a high level, and he got to deal with it, and he's hoping that he wins her over in the long run by walking his path, maybe he got to go through this for like 10 years of letting her wild out and do whatever the hell she want, and then she'll come back to him, and then they can live that life that he has in his mind. But that's the only way I see how that's like possible. Like, bruh, if you messed up big time, then maybe you need to just get ahead and walk that long road, and to hopefully y'all be back in that place where you want to be.
Something that was still, for me, for her posture and her energy still represented a lot of anger. And it was a lot of bitterness from the point of, I put up with this long enough. Now, put up with this, what this is, we don't really know. I mean, they talked about it a little bit as far as everything he did was for his ego, was for outward display. I just don't see that. But when they said that she walked down the aisle crying, that was already a sign that this marriage was not going to be
a condition,
a normal marriage. Because if you can walk with somebody down the aisle while they're crying and they vehemently express to you that they did not want to be married and this is kind of forced upon them, I personally would have never done that. I personally would never advise someone to get into a marriage, a lifelong commitment, if they don't want to. That is like disaster waiting to happen. Someone in that marriage is going to end up bitter, whether it's the person who was crying or the other person who chose to marry that person in the event. I am the type of person within my marriage, if I am unhappy, you will know it now. You will not know it 20 years later. You will know it exactly within that moment. We're not going to talk about it 2 hours down the line. We're going to talk about it now, and you know exactly how I feel right in this moment. And then we could talk about it and come to terms with it later, because that allows me to process my emotions and move on. It may seem very emotional for my husband, or it may seem like, oh my God, here she go again. But in that moment, it's allowing me to exercise that energy in motion to get it out so that I can put it in order. And so I think it's very, very important that you talk about how you feel in that moment. Don't suppress things. Don't let things happen and then on a certain year it's my coming out party. Like, I'm coming out now because I sacrificed so much over those times. You know, you hear the songs, 11 years. I mean, people go through this whole ordeal of, I've sacrificed so much and I gave you so much. And then that bitterness
but Will Smith
is at a breaking point. But he loved that woman
so much. He said he retired. Like, I take time. Like, what you want me to do? Like, I felt him to the point where he's with like the open marriage because he don't want to lose her, and that was like his stance. Like, and then he's like, I'm happy, but it's like, bruh, you're not happy. You're a good actor though, but you're not happy, man. Like, bruh, I feel for you. Like, damn, bruh, why you gotta love her so much?
So in our last 5 minutes to wrap up, because we're gonna wrap up because we know we can't have these things too long or people will lose interest. In our last wrap up, what are your questions for me?
Do you think
You'll put me on the spot?
Do you think I got you in some kind of cage?
No. No, I don't feel that my husband has me in some kind of cage. I've said from the beginning, I wanted freedom in a marriage. I said that from the beginning. Now, with marriage comes a certain level of boundaries, a certain level of structure built around you, so that you're not free roaming. You can't just freestyle completely within a marriage. You can't control someone either, because we already know that that's a disaster, and that's going to be a disaster. I do feel like most of what we do, the direction of our marriage, is governed by my husband. I often don't feel like I'm the driving force behind our future and our plans, but that's something that I have to come to terms with in myself. Either I choose to accept. I can't say 5 years down the line, you made me, da, 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 because I have choice, and I understand my choices, and I understand my power. I also know that I'm a very powerful woman, and I'm very headstrong, and that you can't make me really do something that I do not want to do. So even if I'm following his leadership or following his direction or his vision, it is by choice. Now, my husband is very crafty. He's very manipulative. And when I say manipulative, I'm not saying like necessarily in a bad way, but he knows how to manipulate situations in his favor, and he knows how to do mental programming. And so I'm always aware of his energy within my energy. And if I'm not welcome in it, I tend to come across as the aggressive one. So many of you all have seen me and be like, oh my God, I can't believe she's talking to Copper King like that. But that's because in that moment, or during that time, or some period throughout that day, his energy was so strong and so like pushing me in a certain direction that now I'm like, no, damn it, I'm not going that way.
What she said is true. But at the same time, because I have strong desires, I know what I want. I'm going for what I want. Like we grinding, we working, and I'm trying to work it. I also understand that she has her own mind, her own brain, and I try my hardest not to, like, literally brainwash her or say, you know, words to her to just to put beside what she want, just to only do what I want. But she has to speak up on what she wants. So I know, because I am going for what I want. And that's just, you know, great. But you have any questions for me?
Yes. So,
Here we go.
are you truly happy or truly in this marriage because you love me as a person, as an individual, or because you have such big plans and I am the catalyst for those plans?
I'll give all my plans up for you, babe.
Did it seem like I had him at gunpoint, y'all? I felt a little sweat dripping from his head.
Honestly, like,
Oh.
you greater than any plan I ever made.
But this is the beauty of marriage, because I want to please my husband. I have a desire to please him. So even in times when I say he's the driving force of our marriage and our relationship, it's because I want to please him. Even though I may be upset within the moment, and I say that, but he knows that everything I do is because I want to please him. He's a good man. He's worthy of it.
Well,
so I'll just go through my energy and motion when I feel it's a bit too much. So, how do you all feel about your marriages, your relationships? Drop the comments down below. We appreciate you letting us come before you and be the face of Black love as you watch our commentary and hear our feedback. Don't forget to ask us questions, because your question may very well be the next topic for the next Face of Black Love episode 2.
And yeah, I love my wife. And I'm saying it to y'all, and I'm also saying it to her. I really, really, like, I love you, babe.
I love you too.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, all of this, if she's worth more than all of everything we getting and will have. She is the prize, and
I believe it, and I accept that that's true.
I believe Will Smith believes the same too. He'll give away the big house and all of. He'll give it away just to have his wife love him back, and that's why my heart hurts, because I could feel it. Like what you will do for that woman, that right woman, what you'll do for her. You don't want to find nobody else. You just want that's who you really want, and you want to show off for them. You want to I bought you this house. I got you that. Like check, like watch what we do. But it's we.
There's nothing wrong with the outward display as long as we do the inward work, and as long as intimately together we know how to share space.
But please,
intimately,
baby, please let me know before we get into what where they at. I went and trade places with them.
You know me. You know I'll let you know. Peace and love, family.
Peace.